Good morning, free the people of planet Earth. Free the people of planet Earth. It's a Facebook group page. If you aren't on it, you need to get there. I'm going to share this video around because I intend to make it very concise and to the point. I've basically got nothing to lose at this point, so I'm just going to speak it and I'm going to say it as I see it. So, number one, I want to say, first of all, to one of the members of FPPE, one of the most active and driven members for everything that we have been doing. Aisha, welcome back. I'm glad you are back, and it sounds like you're doing okay. Please take it easy. You've got many, many things that you are working through, and I want you to take care of yourself. So, as far as this whole thing, you've done so much. Oh my gosh, you have shared the posts, you have shared this message more than anybody. And I mean, literally to 200 groups at a time. I've seen messages and videos that I've made go out. It's unbelievable. Thank you. Now stop. You've got to take care of you, please. That was the worst news to hear that you had become ill from. I'm sure the heat. What I'm hearing, the heat over there is just insane. But also your lack of rest. So please take care of yourself. That's most important for now. We can't do anything without you. We need you for the long haul, not just the short. Okay. It's wonderful. The best message in the world was seeing that you were back online, and I hope you're well. Okay, so folks, if you don't know what I'm talking about, Aisha Rehab, that is a certified, verified donation cause to an orphanage with 6 children in Gaza. If you have not done so, please do. Get it really 5, 10, $25 if you can do it. If you can do it, do it. That will make a difference. I promise you. I've seen the results. This is an actual and legitimate organization. I have another that I'm considering very strongly, a fella that I think is doing good. I want to have a lot more conversation with that. With Aisha, I have grown a strong, trusting relationship, and that is what is necessary. And there's a message from her on Free the People of Planet Earth page today that really points out what I'm talking about as far as the scandals that are occurring in the West Bank and in Gaza and Palestine, um, as well as the legitimate need for relief. It's a horrible thing that there would be people trying to take advantage, and realize, please, that there are Zionists who are literally going into occupied territory. They're buying a phone card that shows a particular number so that they can run some of these GoFundMe organizations and things. So I've done my research, folks. Aisha's real. So let's move on to the next point. August 26th, 2015, folks. Get the message out. It is happening. I know that we are going to have, you know what, like I say, if it's me and Govey, I know you're going to be there. I'm happy, and I actually know of a couple others I believe are going to be there with us here in Denver. Denver may surprise me. Who knows? You know, I haven't heard anything from a Palestinian community in Denver. What is your name? I'm so sorry. I'm trying, Jennifer. I want to say you are the one who has created the letter and has posted it to the page of a letter to send out to some of the people in your Palestinian communities. Jennifer, is that right? I think I'm right. McDermott, yes. If you do this, anyway, please, folks, get on that. There's been a lot of people doing beautiful and wonderful things. SK, Force, all of you have jumped in and done wonderful things, and I want to say thank you. The support, just the supporting messages from time to time I get, people who see, you know, I have a lot of passion, obviously, for what I'm doing here, and I appreciate every single message of support has kept me going. It really, there's times that I wake up, I'm like, what am I doing? What am I doing? And so let's be clear. On August 26th, 2015, we are all going to stand up, whoever will, get everybody you will, be creative, and we're going to expose Zion. No holds barred, guys. Once the American public becomes aware of the reality of Zionism and what they have done to our own country, it goes much deeper. Look it up, folks. The USS Liberty. Okay, that's the one of the first attacks that I'm aware of. Anyhow, I'm sure it is from Israel against the United States. That's against an aircraft carrier. So look it up. You can learn the rest. It's not my responsibility. It's yours. So to teach you. So it's yours to learn. So what I'm saying is go look that up. But I'm going to tell you, no holds barred. When America wakes up to the truth of 9/11, they're going to see just exactly how much of an inside job that was. When America wakes up to this Israeli secret intelligence service, they're going to start to really see what we're throwing all these lives into the deserts for. And I believe very much that America is going to, not only will Palestine have Palestine back, but I believe Israel has some answers to make. And it's time that we say, "Hey, Lucy, you're in trouble." So America is about to wake up. I'm seeing it everywhere. I'm seeing a lot of people are starting to say, "Wait a minute. Okay, 9/11 did happen. That was an inside job. There's no way that that third building could have fallen in that way. There's no way that these buildings could have fallen in without incredible demolition techniques." Experience. Okay, so if people start to look at that, they realize this and that third building. Oh, what third building? You know, the one that the media has kind of, don't talk about that one because it fell so perfectly in. Shouldn't have. There was no plane that hit that structure. Strange one, isn't it? So look into that. And then whenever you start really digging, you're going to find that this is connected to, we're going to expose the wolf in sheep's clothing, folks. Zion. Zion did 9/11. All right? Zion is ISIS. Zion is, why, ask yourself, why has ISIS absolutely just avoided Israel so neatly? And that, ISIS going after Muslims, going into Muslim countries and slaughtering them, doing things that are against Muslim belief and tradition and culture, beheading people, tearing down ancient Muslim traditional sites. No, I think there's a lot more to that story. I think there's a lot more, and I think it's time that we start to dig. So, on August 26th, what are we doing? We're rising up. We're rising up for Baby Ali. Why Baby Ali? And here's the thing I want to say very clearly. I can imagine someone who has lost their child saying, no, 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 Baby Ali, what about my child in Gaza? Baby Ali is the representation of every child, every 550, 506, all these children that are incarcerated, imprisoned right now in illegal incarceration. They need to be released immediately. The occupations must stop. The bulldozing of homes and communities in Palestine must stop. So here's our plan. The world is going to rise up with you. The world is rising on August 26th. I promise you, I know there will be some. I wish there were more, but there may not be. But the exposure is happening. I've already accomplished the goal that I have hoped to. What I'm hearing is this. I heard a message from Anonymous the other day that the largest anonymous group has something like 9,000 members. This group somehow went from what I believed would be 50 to 100 people laughing at me to see how much of a fool I was making of myself to almost we're coming up on 2,000. That to me is a sign, an affirmation that something is at play here. Various things. The fact that I'll tell you another thing. The fact I have a job that does allow me to do what I'm able to do, which I know is limited, but I do have something that has some freedom. That's an affirmation. The conversations I've had, the connections I've made, the people I've spoken with, those were not by accident. I am having a hell of a time convincing some to say, David's right. And yet I know that in our conversations, they've begun to think, he is right. But I think there's, things going on in our own heads that prevent us from acknowledging. Here's the point. Let's stay focused on one goal. One goal. Stopping the killing. Stopping the killing. Okay? War is over. War is over. I'm sick of the bombs. I'm sick, and I'm talking about in Syria. I'm talking about the entire Middle East. I'm talking about around the world. I'm sick of this little North Korean guy and his little ego. I'm sick of all these plays and games that I see in our world over. This imperialism, this Zionist takeover, this and those who are trying to, stay out of that are being called evil and things. Anyhow, moving on without trying to ramble. I think I just kind of lost a little bit. Sorry for the scatter. Here's what I'm suggesting is that the world, we can stand up and we can do whatever we can in as creative a way as we possibly can. I'm calling on all of Anonymous members, people who refer or relate to the idea of Anonymous is all that is that I'm speaking of. It's in the heart, that movement. Occupy, come on, bring it back. We had an amazing thing going there. So, and I'm asking on my international peace activists to hear the message I'm making today. And here it is. As we rise internationally and around the world, I cannot ask for anyone in Palestine to actually become as vocal perhaps as we may be able to be. Now remember, this is a movement of pure peace. If there is one shattered window, you do not represent this cause. If people want to start to have angry discourse, I'm asking for people to simply speak from your own heart of love. If you can only speak from love, then you can't go wrong. I believe that. Just speak from love. Speak from how much greater it is to forgive your enemy and approach them in this manner. That what we're talking about is accountability for our own community. This is not a racial thing. There are many, many, many Jews out here who are speaking just as loudly and as passionate as I am for peace. We must let them and accept and acknowledge and respect that voice. That's critical to this cause. Because until the Jewish community starts to stand up and take accountability for this Zionism that has taken over their people and use them for this agenda, this political agenda, this global political agenda, until that starts to be recognized and that starts to happen, we're not going to get anywhere. We got to get the Hasidic Jews who are not even in connection to the media, who don't even realize what's actually going on. They don't even know the massacres. They don't even know, and they're hearing only certain feeded information of what they see. And they've allowed their hearts to be hardened in it towards Palestine, Palestinians. And somehow there's been this sick hatred, darkness, and blackness swallow them. And it happens in so many different places in this world. Anyway, here's what I'm going to suggest for Gaza, and I'm not going to give up on this message either. I know that I have a limited right to speak out. Here I am in the United States. All this, all these reasons why I should. But here's the reason I am going to go ahead and keep saying this. I believe in, number one thing. I don't want any more of the children to die. All right? If you still have vengeance in you, I understand. I'm not going to question that. I'm not going to say that that is wrong. All right? What has been done to you, what has been done to Palestine, what has been done is the most wicked occurrence I've ever known in modern history. Well beyond anything since the 1900s that I'm aware of. It has gotten that bad. It has gotten to the point of genocidal eradication, to the point where there is no longer any land that is recognized by the international community as a Palestine. From the river to the sea, that is Palestine. That is Palestine and always will be and always shall be. When America wakes up and the veterans wake up to the truth of what has been done to us by Zion, we're going to take it off. There's not going to be much left. I believe in Israel's right to exist. Now, that's a political thing, and I know that might, I believe in Israel's right to exist. I believe in a homeland, but they have abused and lost that right. I think there's going to be a lot of reconstruction ahead of us. But it begins first with an action of peace. If you remember, various people who have done in history, who have done great things through single acts of civil defiance. And those simple acts of defiance, peaceful defiance, have been successful, greatly successful. Think of Gandhi, who got England, the imperialists, out of India. Yeah, things kind of went to hell after that. But let's look at the reality. We got rid of England. It took a war over here to do that. It took one man on a starvation fast to do that. So it is possible. Rosa Parks, let's look at what she was able to do on a day that she just simply said, I do not want to move out of my seat. Just piss off, white man. And this whole thing began, and Martin Luther King was called in. It took a lot of convincing. It took a lot of people to understand the focus. What was the goal? You always have the distractions. You always get the politics. You got somebody who wants to be this, and you got somebody who wants to be that, and then you get egos involved. That's the poison of the matter. If we can get rid of our egos and just stay focused together on the cause. So the cause is we're going to stop the bombs. We're going to stop the occupation. We're going to stop any further settlements. How do I do that? How do I know? How do I know how to stop any further, one more home from being torn down in Palestine that belongs to a Palestinian? How do I know? Because if Gaza, if Palestine, if the West Bank, if the entire, from the river to the sea, every national Palestinian were to make one action of peace on August 26th, or whenever you can get this together, I know the limited resources and available passing of information, but I know it can also be done. It just takes one person with a passion. One person with a passion to spread this word with a heart just like a fire through Gaza, through Palestine. Sit in an act of civil defiance. All at noon, there will be a giant national sit-in, an action of peace. And from that moment forward, the statement will be there will be no further retaliation. There will be no further acts from Palestine of any kind in response to Israel. If Israel strikes Palestine, I'm asking you to do something. I'm asking you to take a spiritual path that the world will stand behind. If they tear down one brick after that event, if we make it loud enough, they will be acknowledged. It will be stopped. The world will have to notice. They will have to notice. Hear my message. On August 26th at noon, Palestine. Sit down. We called it a sit-in the 60s. They were minimally effective. But things happen, and we stopped believing in this passion for we believed we were powerless. They started to shoot people, and everybody that spoke like this or spoke of peace, they lost their faith in it. I'm asking for the faith because I know when we hear this statement, faith can move mountains, what do you think they're talking about? A physical moving of a mountain? Guys, we're talking about moving mountains here. I'm asking you to have faith in love and faith in peace. I want to keep this message short because I want it to get out there. Spread this one. I didn't ramble too much, I hope. Come on over. Free the people of planet Earth, August 26th. We're gonna stop this shit. All right? The whole world, let's get up. I don't want to see this anymore. I can't live in a world like this. Period. Bye.